Welcome. I'm so excited to have special guests here with us today on The Gist. Betty Breuder, co-founder of St. Gianna's Place, and Laura Gandia, president of St. Gianna's Place, are joining us here on The Gist today. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Betty, I'm going to start with you. Can you tell us what St. Gianna's Place is and how did it come about?
Yes, St. Gianna's Place is a home for pregnant mothers who need shelter. It's rooted in the principles of the Catholic faith, but it's open to women of all beliefs. It's a nonprofit organization, but it's much more than that. It's a ministry based on the prayers and vision of four founding mothers, Liz Neville, Maria Simplinsky, Monica Rahili, and myself.
Wow.
14 years ago, I felt the Blessed Mother calling for this home continually during Eucharistic adoration. For over a decade, Liz had been praying for the same intention, and Maria received a similar call but was waiting for God's sign how to begin. 2 years ago, Monica, who worked for a drug ministry called Chinoculo, received a phone call from an aunt who was very distraught about her niece, who was a prostitute and drug addict. She had already lost custody of her first 3 children and was fearful of losing her 4th baby. She was in desperate need of shelter, but unfortunately she did not qualify for assistance through Chinoculo. So this weighed very heavily on Monica's heart until during the consecration of the Mass, she heard a distinct call from God to begin this home.
Wow.
So remarkably, the Holy Spirit brought together all 4 women last summer, 2 summers ago, and we began to research how similar organizations began. And we found something very disconcerting, that in New Hampshire, that has a population of over 1.3 million people, there are only 2 such homes dedicated to pregnant mothers in need.
Wow.
Yeah, so we
That's not enough.
Not enough, none whatsoever. So we realized it was a very pressing need. We rolled up our sleeves, drew up a mission statement, operational plans, formed an excellent board of directors, obtained our tax-exempt status, and so here we are.
It's a lot of work.
Yes, and ready to roll.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, Laura, can you share a little bit about the kind of support that is offered for women at St. Gianna's Place?
Absolutely. As Betty said, we are a safe harbor for pregnant mothers in need. So we're a home, and what makes us different is that we're going to operate like a family, not a shelter, because we're devoted just for pregnant mothers in need. So we'll provide a home, food, clothing,
regular life.
Shelter, right. As a family. That's, we really want that sense of family for these moms. So we'll offer that, and each mom will then be assigned a caseworker. So that caseworker will work with that mother to determine their specific needs. As part of those needs will be educational resources, whether that mom needs to obtain a GED or may want some post-secondary educational training or trade school. In addition to that, there will be life skill classes, whether that's money management, how to write a check, budgeting.
Basic stuff.
Great stuff that they may not have received.
Sure.
In addition to that, we're going to do nutrition classes, parenting, again, the life skills, whatever women need, we're going to try to offer that to them.
Wow, that's wonderful.
And the last thing, which we feel is the most important, is spiritual. We'll have as part of each woman's progress, Bible studies, weekly Mass attendance, and this will give them that chance to develop a relationship with Jesus Christ and to learn how important they are as a daughter of God the Father.
Wow, because whatever circumstances brought them there,
Right.
everybody needs that, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, I want to make sure we get in the story about St. Gianna, because why did you choose this saint? Who is she, and how is this relevant?
Well, St. Gianna Breuder was an Italian pediatrician who lived between 1922 and 1962, and her faith informed her entire life. She was very compassionate, had a special love for the poor, elderly, and children as well. She was active in Catholic Action and St. Vincent de Paul Society. During her pregnancy with her 4th child, she had a uterine tumor, and she refused to have a hysterectomy or an abortion, and instead opted to have the tumor removed. But towards the end of her term, she developed complications. But she left clear and explicit instructions: save the baby first. The baby's life has to be prioritized over mine. So she delivered her daughter, and within a week died of septicemia.
Oh, sad.
Very sad. Her daughter is now a physician following in her footsteps. That's the good part.
Amazing.
Yeah. So in 2004, John Paul II canonized her a saint, a modern saint, whose heroic virtue illuminates our culture shrouded in death. Gianna is, I would say, she epitomizes authentic feminism because of the extraordinary way she fulfilled her professional and domestic duties.
Without compromising her motherhood.
Without compromising her motherhood. She was a excellent physician, a devoted wife, and a very loving mother. So she offers the world an alternative view of compelling beauty based on the gospel values.
The perfect patron saint for this
Perfect
charity.
patron saint, and that's why we chose her. That was a no-brainer because she is the patron saint of mothers and unborn children. And she's also an inspiring role model for mothers in crisis pregnancies. And I think they can connect with St. Gianna in a very special way because Gianna experienced the similar emotional agony of a life-threatening pregnancy.
Wow.
And to them, she offers profound words of wisdom that are very consoling. She says, you cannot love without suffering, and you cannot suffer without love.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't that very beautiful.
Beautiful, a beautiful way to start a beautiful ministry.
Yes.
I'm sure there are people listening that want to know how they can help support the good work that you're doing at St. Gianna's Place. So where can they go to find out more and support the work you're doing?
They can go to our website. We have our website, stgiannasplace.org. They can reach out to us via our website. They can call as well. That number is contained on our website.
Okay.
And they also can, help us in many ways. I don't know if you want me to talk about ways that they can help.
Yeah, well, they can probably find out all those opportunities
right,
on the website. So going to stgiannasplace.org, and we'll put
Yes.
that up on the screen
Perfect.
for people to be sure.
And I would just like to add one more note why the founding mothers were attracted to St. Gianna. I personally was because of her joie de vivre. She loved music, fashion, the arts. And Liz Neville actually ran a ministry called St. Gianna's Closet that gives clothing to poor families. Wow. Maria headed up an apostolate called Gianna Care Center that promotes nanotechnology. And Monica was affected by a very singular incident when the daughter of a friend of hers had a near-fatal accident, and the family placed their own relic of St. Gianna on the child, and she miraculously recovered and was healed.
Powerful story.
Isn't that powerful? And then years later, the same daughter became our ambassador to Rome, met with St. Gianna's daughter, the doctor, who gave her a relic of St. Gianna for our home. So when I consider all these factors collectively, I'm convinced St. Gianna is destined to flourish for God's honor and glory.
Oh, that's wonderful, and a wonderful patron saint you have. Thank you so much for taking the time, Laura and Betty, for being with us here today on The Gist, and thank you for the important work that you're doing for women in the church.
Thank you. God bless you.